Welcome back everyone to another video, and it is a continuation of our sales process tracker. And so I have transferred this particular tracking template to SharePoint, and this is what we have here on my SharePoint. And so the next thing I want to do is to add like a date formatting. So I think I'm using Microsoft 365 here. And so for the start date, when the lead was gotten, and yeah, so I'll just go to my date and just use date. Click on short date. I've already formatted it before, but I also want to the type of date. What I want is also like this format. So the day, the month, and the year. So I'll just double click on it, and I think I'm done. So once I just click anywhere, double click anywhere inside the cell, the date is going to come out. Okay, so this is good. The other thing I also want to do is to put a cluster. So the places we are actually delivering service to, we have point of presence, and we were able to the business was able to cluster these areas into our point of presence. And so I'm going to copy it out somewhere, our location where our point of presence is, and I'll paste it elsewhere. So we do have something like this on another sheet where our point of presence is. So I'm going to copy it, maybe let's create a new sheet. I'll paste. Now we're having lots of space in between, and in order for me to delete this space, I can do one of the above. I could, while selecting on the column, go to find and replace and click on go to special. What I want is the blanks. I want to select blank, and when I'm done, I will just control minus or just press delete. No, sorry, control minus, or you go to your delete and delete cells. So a prompt to come up, the type of delete you want to do. I want to shift its cell up. And see now. So I don't want this because it's like total. Also don't want this. Multiple select and right click delete. So this is where our point of presence is. The other thing I can also do is to check for duplicates. Okay, no duplicates. I'm just going to remove formatting. Now that I'm done with this, I would copy this, maybe go somewhere and paste it, or I go to data validation because I want to make it a drop down like a list. So go to data validation. I want a list, and I want to control V, and everything here will be in comma. Again, because I can't use my arrow key, it's really difficult. What I can then do is I could either make a list somewhere here, right click. So I've just canceled this. Right click, paste special, paste as value. I love pasting as value because of formatting issues. And then when I go to my cluster now, my cluster column, data validation, lists. I'm going to just click on this place here. And where do I want to go? I want to come here and select my source. And maybe I'll just do this. Yep, apply. And once I'm done, I'll just go back. Oh, I don't know why it's showing me zero. This is interesting. Yikes. This is interesting. Hmm. I don't think I like using Microsoft 365. It's it isn't that interesting. It really isn't. Everything looks fine, but so it's okay, let me just use sheet 3. I'll say sheet 3, I think with this. Yep. Yeah. So I think that's the reason why it was showing me 0. So I've asked it to ignore so if I go back my data validation, I've actually asked it to ignore blank. So what it means is I'm going to have like so I could, the more I keep updating, the more this list keeps growing. And so let's say for instance I add others. For instance, maybe we have a client that is not in these clusters. So when I click on when I type others, if I go, I'm very sure I'm going to see others. And you know, just pretty interesting. For the sectors, so I think, yep, so I'll just click and drag, or I could just highlight everything to this place and click on data validation. The selection contains more than one data validation type. Erase current settings and continue. Let me do yes. List. I already know where my list is, so equal sheet 3, or maybe I'll just say cluster. The clusters, and I'm just going to say $A2A. So the whole of the A column. Now it's going to show me some error. So it's saying, okay, so I think I should just rename this clusters, or say cluster list. So the problem with giving space here is I would have to, I would say equal to then a inverted comma. So it will be cluster space list, bracket close, then dollar sign, this is a exclamation mark, dollar sign A2, dollar sign A. Yeah, so you can see it has as soon as I did this, it gave me, yeah. So the reason I'm putting a inverted comma is because of this space. So space is usually a thing, and people do not understand the consequences of spaces, especially when you don't need it, either for cell referencing or creating column title. But this is one of the issues. You have to use the inverted comma because there's a space here. Again, if I had said cluster underscore list, I would not need to put the so this is going to give me some form of error. Oh, it's not giving me error, which is interesting. But go to this. Oh, so it corrected it for me, and you can see that the inverted comma is no more there. So just take note of it. So This is interesting. I was expecting an error. Let's see. So you can see it has returned the inverted comma. What else? So the sectors too, I also want to categorize them. I think if I remember correctly, we have let me see. I am just going to go ahead and create a new sheet and say, or maybe I'll just paste it here, right? So this, no, let me just create a new sheet and say sectors. I'm going to refer uh, this uh, sector column to that particular sector sheet. So since I already know, I'm going to put it in A, just say equal to sectors, sectors, exclamation mark, dollar sign A to A. So the whole of, you can see the A column. Yeah, and it's done. Now whatever I put here, let's just say healthcare, I think it's going to update. Yes, so cool. So I think I can feel that as well. So the next thing I want to do is we have different salesperson. We call them count. And I want to create for every I think we have about 6. I'll create what I just need to do is just to be done creating this. I think I'm going to give them like an access thing where they can type. Yes, for these guys, I'll lock everything so they won't be able to type. And you can do that by going to view. No. I think review, manage protection. Um, yeah, so you can select there's a protect sheet. You can add range as to what you want them to touch and stuff like that. Yep. So this guy, I don't want them to touch it. I just want them to select so I would say ranges I want to unlock. I'll just click on no. So I don't want this. I just want D to let me say D to D. Okay, D to D. That's the only place I want them to touch. Let's just say I'm going to say the client as the range name. So unlock ranges, add ranges that can be edited. So I want them to be able to edit only this case, and maybe remarks and all of these other cases. I also want them to be able to edit. Yeah, date also. So I can just say comma. No. So it is D to D, comma. I want E to P. I think I'm supposed to, is it equal? Or I could just do control and select. So it's gonna give me the same thing. So regardless of what you want to do, you just the ones you want them to be able to edit, you just give them, allow them to edit it. So I don't want them to edit any of this. I just the drop down, click, and maybe edit this column STP QR, maybe U like that, but I don't want them to touch anything except this piece. The other thing I also want to do is to create multiple and duplicate the sheet. The one thing with 365, you can, there's even a duplicate. In Microsoft Excel, you have to right click, go to move, then move or copy. So I'll just duplicate. Let me see if I reorder. Oh, this is interesting. Reorder sheets. Okay, I'll say, oh, okay. Oh, this is interesting. And nothing is moving. So at the end of the day, I'm going to have like a summary sheet. Nope. I want my summary sheet here. And the summary sheet will just give me, again, that's what is off the top of my head. The summary sheet will just give me the cams, the clusters, the client, or a count of the clients they have. Then I'll have this, you know, I'm just counting how many is, I'll just do a count. I'm thinking about doing a count of, you know, based on these particular indicators. How many is lead, how many lead identification, quality lead identification has been made, and like that. I usually like to paste as value so that I remove any kind of formatting. Okay, that reminds me, I would delete this because I also want to format everything. I do have like a, so I have a, okay, so it's in Century Gothic. So I have a preference for my font. So Century Gothic, so just wanted to know. Yeah, so I'm going to use Century Gothic as well. Century, it's not typing for some weird reason. Century Gothic, Century Gothic. It keeps going back to, I wonder why. I think that's one of the things it, I don't know. Oh, it doesn't have Century Gothic. That's serious. Oh, wow. Huh. That is really interesting. I was wondering why it is refusing to change. I was really wondering why. Hmm. Actually, I was thinking off the top of my head if I can just do everything here and take it there. It's really interesting. So we'll have the clients. It will just be a count, then the salesperson. So it will be salesperson one, salesperson. Okay, so if I click and drag, I think it should be wise enough to give me, yikes. Okay, Control Z. I'll just click on this other person. Yeah. So we'll have number of clients and we'll just do equal to the count A, equal to count A. So equal of this 0. I can now say if can do a if this guy is equal to 0, then put nothing else. Just call the count if, so that your sheet can look, you don't need to have unnecessary zeros if there's no need to. And yeah, we're done. Just click. You don't need to click and drag, so we have so I can actually click and drag, hmm, but it will mean I'll have to lock this guy. That's what it will mean. And because if I click and drag it, it's going to change for some word. Yeah, it is going to change. I can click and drag and just say cam one, because you're basically having the same format. So cam one, so it's already telling me that I'm here. So trust workbook link. Let me see trust workbook link. Let me even see the link. I'm able to get file. That's interesting. It's counting from the same guy. Oh, it's assuming that someone is. Oh, pretty interesting. It's supposed to be cam 3. Oh, it's assuming that it was a sheet. So I can say I can just say just click drag, and because there's a space, I'll just say this, then end it. Do the same thing for this and end it. So yeah, so it's not giving me that again for some very weird reason. It thought okay. And that's because it didn't exist here. So it thought it's on a different maybe workbook. And maybe I'll just copy Ctrl C. I'll just paste it here. And I can do a count of how many has been done with quality lead, or how many is in quality leads, how many has moved on. I actually need to sit down and think of a way to do that, because it's quite interesting. Because if you have quality lead here, for instance, um thinking about a way to so if you have quality lead as done, and you have maybe like 3 sales process done. So if you just want to count on one column alone, it's going to be a problem, because already it has left that particular place and it has gone to a different kind of sales process. So I don't want to count. I want to always put it at the current state. So like a current state, that's what I want to do. So at the end of the day, the total count of the client would align. It's a pretty interesting thought process. I don't exactly know if Microsoft Excel can do it, but I think I would think of a way to do it and share updates with you guys. I just wanted to show you guys the next thing um, on the agenda. So this summary is meant for both the sales team as well as the that's the management staff, so they have an idea. So the goal is, if they want to start reporting number against each sales person, they already know which is which. So if here is 10, for instance, the cumulative of this place cannot be more than 10. So, but if I wanted to do a count of each of these particular process, it will be more than 10. As if I want to just do a raw count, it's going to be more than 10. I have to think of a way to I've not thought of any of that right now, but when I do, I'll come back and give you guys update. With that, I've come to the end of this particular session. I'll see you guys in the next video.